Coach Anthony, man. Hope everybody's doing good. I know I've been switching up the times. I don't know how many people are going to get in here, but just so you guys know, it is officially November. So, what do I do every year? This is the 5th year in a row. No days off November. I go live every single day for the month of November for no specific amount of time. I might be on for an hour. I might be on for 2 hours. I might be on for 30 minutes. I might be on for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But the whole goal is for me to get on here and give you guys information that's going to help you just improve your boxing, and hopefully improve you in different areas of your life. I actually just put something in the description below. It is the WTF tracker. I've been promoting this on Instagram for the last couple of days. And I want to start this with you guys tomorrow. So I know a lot of you guys probably ain't going to watch this live. I know you guys don't sit around all day waiting for me to go live, but some of you guys catch this later. I'll have this in the link description. You can also get this on my Instagram, right? But this right here is basically just a little checklist of how we're going to improve every single day. And I'm going to be checking up on everybody tomorrow. This is something I'm doing for myself. I'm just sharing it with you guys. So like if you guys want to do it, cool. If you don't want to do it, that's cool. But basically the W stands for water and walking. Why? Because I like to hit 20,000 steps a day. Okay. And I also like to drink a gallon of water. So I want to make sure that I hit that goal. The T is for my to-do list today. So sometimes I have a tendency of procrastinating certain things I want to do. I don't get it done. So I'm going to make sure that my to-do list gets done when I say it's going to get done. So to-do list today. And the F is for fitness and for food. So basically, I got to make sure that I'm sticking to my diet, which is something that we're going to talk about today. That is today's topic, which is going to be nutrition. Okay. And obviously fitness. I'm going to work out 7 days a week. Now, I know yesterday was November 1st, and I worked out yesterday. But I said that since I'm bringing this up like last minute, that we'll start this on a Monday. So if you guys are interested, I already put it in the comment. All you got to do is hit that link. It's absolutely free. WTF tracker. And the way it would work is at the end of the day, all you got to do is check the W, check the T, and check the F. It's that simple. You check the W, you check the T, and you check the F. How hard is that, guys, right? So you go ahead, you download this. It also gives you some ideas of how you should be tracking your diet, your protein or whatever, right? And that's basically what I'm going to talk about today. I don't know how many people in here pay attention to how they eat, but it's very important if you want to go ahead and see your goals. Quick question, guys. Yesterday's stream was extremely blurry. Can you give me a thumbs up right now if this stream is good? Yesterday's was blurry. A lot of people were saying it was lagging. It was pretty bad. I took a look at it myself. I was a little embarrassed. Can you guys just give me a thumbs up right now and let me know if this is looking clear? What's going on, Mackie Bundy? What's going on? Give me a thumbs up in the chat, guys, if this looks clear. But yeah, man, the whole goal, guys, is that if we're gonna spend 30 days, or if I'm gonna spend 30 days with you guys, I want to make sure that everybody's leveling up in every area of their life, whether that's, with their fitness, right? Your boxing, right? And just every other area of your life. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Why would we get on here and spend time? Is it lagging? Thank you, Jeremy. Is it lagging? Do I sound good? Like, is the sound good and everything? I just want to make sure, because yesterday I went live for a whole hour and it was terrible, man. It was pretty bad. So I just want to make sure that, you know what I mean, I'm able to, get everything across to you guys today. But yeah, man. So yeah, every area of your life, man. So I'm gonna be checking up on everybody. I'm gonna be checking up on every single, everybody. Guys, download the tracker. Rock out with me, man. Another thing that I got coming out very, very soon, and I know a lot of people are excited about it. It'll be out in the next week or two. It is my $1 Million Mitts course. Here is another link. You want to get on that waiting list, guys. Guys, if you want to learn mitt work from me, I'm going to be teaching everything I know about mitt work. When I tell you I'm stacking this is going to be something crazy. This is going to be one of my best pieces of work, probably the best piece of work that I've put out. I'm definitely going to be teaching every single thing I know about mitt work. And you guys are going to be able to learn how to hold mitts the way I hold them, if not maybe even better. You know what I mean? You're going to look like $1,000,000. That's why it's called $1,000,000 mitts. And you're also going to make some money with it because you're going to be good at it to the point where people are going to want to hire you, right? So maybe you'll make $1,000,000. You never know, right? So $1,000,000 mitts is definitely coming soon. Put your names in both of those right there. There's nothing, I'm not selling you nothing right there. This is simply you guys putting your information. You're getting on the waiting list for $1,000,000 mitts for when I drop it, so you can get the first dibs, first deals. Obviously, I'm giving out the best deals to the first people because I'm doing it on a Black Friday month. Okay. And of course, the tracker is simply just so we could be on the same page. Since I'm going live every single day. Again, guys, all you got to do is go ahead, download this. You'll get it to your email. Then you go find a printer or something, print this out. You check the W, you check the T, and you check the F if you complete everything. If you don't complete everything, don't check it, because what that's going to do is going to give you data on why you're not getting the results that you want. You feel me? Like maybe you're trying to get a certain result in life and you're like, damn, why am I not hitting my goal? Well, maybe you're not hitting your goal because you're just not being consistent. Consistency is the number one thing that's going to get you to where you're trying to go. It ain't going to be some fad diet. It ain't going to be nothing else. It ain't going to be some get rich scheme. It's going to be just like boxing, right? Repetition, repetition, repetition. People want to learn how to box from me. People come to me all the time, Coach Ant, how long before I have my first amateur fight? Coach Ant, do you think I could go pro? Coach Ant, this. It's like, bro, you got to show up to the gym every single day. You got to work on your skills every single day. You got to work on your jab 1,000 times. You know what I mean? It's like you got to work more than 1,000 times. But you feel what I'm trying to say? Like it's like you're never ending. It's a consistency. And I'd rather you come in and do a little bit every day than do a lot one day and then don't do nothing for the next 10 days. I'd rather you just do a little bit every day, a little bit every day, a little bit every day, a little bit every day. And that's how you're going to get the results that you're trying to get. And anytime I've ever been successful in life in any area is when I was consistent. And that's what I love about this No Days Off November, is that it's going to get me consistent going live with you guys every single day and just providing value, because for many years, that's what I always wanted to do with you guys, is give you guys as much information as I can to try to help you the best that I can. And hopefully it resonates, man. So anyway, the diet, man. Something that I want to go ahead and clear up is very important. Obviously, in the tracker, the F stands for food. We got to eat right, y'all. We got to eat right. And when I say eat right, I just mean this from a perspective of you putting in all that work, you want to see some results for it. I know I've been guilty of being in good shape and honestly not looking good at all. Like I've done it so many times, man. Like there's been times where I was running 3 miles in 21 minutes. I was, doing 6 to 8 rounds of sparring, hitting the bag for 8 to 10 rounds. And I still didn't look like a guy who worked out every day. And it was simply because I had no fights and nothing coming up. I was just training and I would just eat whatever I wanted, right? So I would do all this work and then I would just pig out at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Sometimes on the weekends, I would just, have some snacks or whatever, and then maybe even have a couple of drinks. This was when I was younger. And what end up happening is like, damn, bro, you're doing all this training, all this exercise, and all this working out, and you don't look like you work out, bro. Like, I remember one time I had posted a video a couple years ago, shadow boxing, and I was actually feeling good, but I was really fattered, like fat. Like, if you guys see it, I was fat. Like, a lot of people who've been following me tell me now, like, Coach Ant, you lost some weight. I haven't even gotten to my real weight where I want to be, but I was actually really out of shape like 2 years ago, like 2022, 2023. But I was in the gym every single day. That's what's so crazy. I was in the gym every single day, working out, doing this, doing that, lifting weights, doing an hour on the Stairmaster, boxing 2 times a week, 3 times a week, whatever I felt like doing. And I looked terrible. It was so bad. It was so embarrassing. So I say that to say, working out and nutrition have to work together if you want to look the part. Because a lot of the times, like, you do the exercise and you think that, oh, I exercise, I can eat whatever I want. You really can't just eat whatever you want. You have to be strategic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you some insight. I'm going to explain to you. And I'm doing this all off the top of my head, guys. I'm not reading nothing. I didn't write none of this down because a lot of this stuff is on the top of my head. And I'm going to give you the real of this, and I'm going to simplify it at the end, right? But of course, we have to understand nutrition. So yo, Jamil, I'm gonna answer boxing questions toward the end. This particular live stream is going to be Jamal. I hope I said your name right, bro. If I didn't say it right, no disrespect. I think it's Jamal, right? But this is going to be about nutrition for right now, this segment of it, and then toward the end, we could do some Q&As on the boxing or whatever. So hopefully you stick around, for the whole stream or whatever. We'll chop it up. But let's talk about this diet stuff real quick, because I think that we overcomplicate diet. Okay. And I'm doing this all off the top of my head, y'all. Right. So I might forget something or whatever and bring it up in another stream. But for the most part, I'm going to make this really easy to understand. So first, I'm going to talk a little bit about the science, right? So you got macronutrients. Sure, some of you guys know this already. I'm probably just speaking to people like, man, I already know about that. But for those who don't know, you got macronutrients, right? You got protein, carbs, and fats, right? Some people like to count alcohols, but I'm just going to go ahead and say protein, carbs, and fats. Those are your main macronutrients, right? So your protein has 4 calories per gram. Your carbohydrates has 4 calories per gram. And your fats have 9 calories per gram. Okay? Now, why am I bringing up protein, carbs, and fats, right? Because that's what makes up your caloric intake for the day. Now, you want to eat more protein than any of the other macros for the most part. Well, actually, that's not true. You can actually, between the carbs and the fats, you can kind of balance that out or mix and match that, right? But for the most part, if you eat more protein than you eat carbohydrates and fats, okay, the reason why protein is good is because it's going to raise your metabolism, because it's the hardest macronutrient to break down in your body, right? It's also going to be good for muscle repair, and it's also going to be good for satiety, right? So you're going to get fuller. So example, right now, if I give you a slice of pizza that has a lot of carbohydrates and fats, right? So you can eat a 300 calorie slice of pizza, or I can give you an 8-ounce chicken breast. Which one do you think is going to fill you up, right? You'll eat the slice of pizza and you're like, hold up, that was good. Let me get another one. Bang. Now you at 600 and you barely got any protein. The only protein you're going to get that's in the cheese, but it's mainly going to be fats, and it's mainly going to be carbohydrates. Where you eat an 8-ounce chicken breast, you're going to be pretty full off of that, right? Now, if you can go ahead and add a cup of rice, that's going to be about 200 calories. And then you can add some vegetables, right? That whole meal is about 500 calories. An 8-ounce chicken breast, 1 cup of rice, and some vegetables. You're around 500, 600 calories. You can eat 2 slices of pizza and you'll be about at the same amount of calories, and you'll still be hungry. You can still eat some chicken wings. You can actually probably go eat another 2 slices of pizza. You feel what I'm saying? And this is how people gain weight, because it ain't that the pizza is going to make you fat. You can actually eat the pizza. It's just that the bang for the buck ain't the same. So basically, the way I like to tell people is, if you got, let's just say you want to, your goal is to eat 2,000 calories for the day. You treat that like you're eating, like you got $2,000. And you get to spend $2,000 every single day. So I'm gonna give you $2,000. You get to spend $2,000 however you want. The thing is, you gotta be smart about how you spend your money, or you're gonna go broke really quick, and then you're gonna be owing money. And owing money would be being in a surplus, right? So this is for people who want to lose weight. So this is where I might lose some of the people who don't really understand like nutrition. But for those of you guys who are following me, this is how easy it can be. Okay, so for instance, it's all about food choices. So Like for the next 30 days, for instance, I'm going to give you me as an example. My goal is to hit my goal weight, which is 180 grams of protein a day. Because I want to weigh around 180. That's where I look the best. I look most lean. I'm pretty good at 180. I don't know, maybe more, because I did pack on some muscle over the years. I'm not like all fat. I got a little something in here. You feel what I'm saying? So I got some muscle. But at 180, I hit 180 grams of protein, right? That's the goal for me. And I'm trying to stay at around 2,000 calories because I want to lose weight. I want to see some results. Okay, so for me, if I go ahead and do that, that means every food choice I make, I have to know proteins, carbs, and fats, what's in it before I eat it. So how do I figure this out? It's real simple. There's actually an app right now that you can get. It's called MyFitnessPal, right? So you go to the Apple store, you go to the Android, so you get MyFitnessPal. And in MyFitnessPal, they made it so easy where all you got to do is literally, like I'm right here, all I got to do is put what I ate, and then I'll know exactly what's in it. Like right now, if I put 8-ounce chicken breasts, I put chicken breast right now. See, they right now they got they got a rotisserie chicken breast. Okay, they got a chicken breast right here, skilling 3-ounce. So I'll go ahead and let's just say 3 ounces. I'm gonna say two servings. So that's 300 calories right there. Okay, and that's giving me about 50 grams of protein. It says it right there, like boom, like look at the numbers. It says 50 grams of protein, 0 carbs, 9.3 grams of fat. Okay, so this is the other secret that I think that people really get confused with. Okay, and I really want to break this down. Like I said, I'm gonna simplify what a lot of these dietitians don't want to tell you, and a lot of these bodybuilding coaches don't want to tell you, because what it is they're making money off of you not understanding how simple this can really be. Okay, so you got carbs and fats. Okay, now I might have to do this again. I'm gonna be honest, yo. I'm gonna have to do this again because I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little bit like I should have had like slideshows on the screens and everything to try to like make this really professional. But you got carbs and fats. They're both energy sources, right? So carbohydrates gives you energy. Fats is your reserves energy, but it also helps with hormonal health as well. This is getting a little bit like further than where I wanted to go with this because I don't really want to confuse nobody. But I look at it like as a toggle, right? Like, so you're toggling fat, you're toggling carbs, you're toggling fat, you're toggling carbs. So I like to tell people the only 2 things you need to really worry about is protein and carbohydrates. I'm sorry, my bad. Protein and calories. Those are the only things you need to worry about. Proteins and calories. Proteins and calories. Those are the 2 most important things. Now, there is a couple of things to take into note. If you eat higher fat that day, you're going to be eating less food because fat is 9 calories per gram and carbohydrates is only 4 calories per gram. So a lot of people think that carbohydrates is bad, but carbohydrates actually isn't bad. Carbohydrates is okay. What's bad is going into a caloric surplus. That's what's actually bad. So if you're paying attention to your calories and you're paying attention to your protein, your carbs and fat are going to fall into place however they fall into place. Now, the whole thing is you actually have to be accurate with how you're counting your calories and your protein, which means if you really want to dial it in, you'll get a scale and you'll get measuring cups, right? You hear people talk about meal prep all the time, right? So let's just take you make a big pot of rice. You scoop the rice with a measuring cup. Don't scoop the pot with the spoon. Scoop it with a measuring cup, 1 cup, right? Boom, you put that on the plate. You got your 8-ounce chicken breast, put it on the scale, put it on the plate, and then I don't even worry about the amount of vegetables you eat. You can just scoop the vegetables, boom, you put it on a plate. You got yourself a nice solid plate, and you know that the carbs, the protein's already weighed out. And then you just go in my fitness pal and I just ate 8 ounces of chicken breast, 1 cup of white rice, and mixed vegetables or whatever. And now you kind of know where you're at. Okay, but the reason why I say the carbs and the fats don't really matter is because let's just say you want to eat, let's just say you want to eat some eggs. Okay, let's just say you want to eat some eggs that day, like with the yolk and everything. That's gonna have a little higher fat than, if you was to eat egg whites only, right? So if you're eating something with the yolk, if you're logging your food, okay, then you're going to know that, okay, I only have but so many calories left because I ate a little bit more fat today. Okay, but that's okay, because now all you got to do is tell yourself, I'll eat less carbs today. As long as I don't go over my calories for the day. But I also want to prioritize protein. So that means you want to focus on your protein goals. Like the reason why no carbohydrate diets work, like keto and stuff like that, is because you're going into a caloric deficit. That's the only reason that works. You're going into a caloric deficit. Now, the other thing is when you cut out carbs, you also deplete your body of glycogen, which is water. So when you deplete your body of that water, the scale goes down. But it's not real fat loss. It's just weight loss, right? So like you'll lose the weight, but you'll still be fat. And that's really not what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is burn fat. So cutting carbs is cool when you're trying to like step on a scale, right? And just like weigh in real quick. Like maybe fight week, you start cutting back on the carbs and then you start depleting yourself with the water. You know what I mean? That's when it starts to work out for boxers, like to start cutting the carbs down. You know what I mean? Maybe you water load, you do a weight cut. That's a whole nother thing. That's the step on the scale. But if we're really trying to get our body down and body fat down, what we're paying attention to is our protein and our calories. Really, our calories is number one, but the protein is also very important because it's going to fill you up and it's going to raise your metabolism because it's got to work twice as hard to break it down. And it's going to help you stay fuller so you're not looking for snacks and sweets and shit like that that's going to make you fuck your diet up. Ugh, I know I'm fucking rambling, right now. If this is helpful, man, just let me know that it's helpful. Let me know if I'm being confusing with my approach on this. I feel like I could have did a better job at organizing how I'm explaining this. But I'm trying to make this real simple, and then I'm gonna tell you exactly. I'll tell you exactly how I'm gonna approach the next 30 days, just so you know exactly what I mean. And I'm gonna tell you why I chose 20,000 steps. And I'm going to tell you why, basically all of that. So just let me know right now, guys, if this is helpful. My man said, thank you for the gem, CA. Man, I appreciate you, bro. You're making it simple. We're listening. All right, cool. All right, so I'm just trying to give some of my knowledge and just help you guys the best you can. So, okay, so basically me. This is how I'm going to structure my day. Also, you got people who talk about intermittent fasting. Should you eat 6 small meals a day? Listen, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is calories in versus calories out, right? The only thing that matters is calories in versus calories out. So calories in is how much food you eat. Calories out is how much calories you burn. So for me, okay, I chose that I want to walk 20,000 steps a day. The reason why I chose 20,000, okay, is because for every 10,000 steps is 500 calories for the most part. So if I'm walking 20,000 steps, that puts me in 1,000 calorie deficit, which means if I stick to my deficit on the nutrition, that's adding an extra deficit. Me, I want to lose at least 2 pounds a week. 2 pounds a week is actually considered aggressive weight loss. So that's another problem with a lot of people, right? Like a lot of people will lose, let's just say you worked out all week. Let's say you came here to my gym, you're jumping rope, you're hitting the bag, you're killing it. You're doing your thing. You go home, you're beat. Then you go ahead and you step on a scale a week later and you only lost 1 pound. You're like, yo, are you kidding me? I've been working out like crazy. I only lost a pound. Like, this is some bullshit. That's actually not bad. That's actually not freaking bad. That's actually okay. Now, if you tighten up your diet a little bit more, you might actually lose 2 pounds. If you're losing like 5-6 pounds a week, you're either losing glycogen, water, you know what I'm saying? Or you're eating way too low, you're burning your muscle, and then you're gonna look crazy, right? So truthfully, the most part is 2 pounds a week is considered aggressive. That's what's crazy. People forget that because everybody wants to lose 10 pounds a fucking week or 5 pounds a week because you're in a rush to get nowhere fast, truthfully. You know what I mean? And I've been guilty of this time and time again, even with the knowledge that I got, because this shit is a mind fuck. And I honestly, like, getting in shape and losing weight and all that stuff is more mental than anything. If you can just have the patience, if you can just focus, you know what I mean, you'll get some good results, but you just have to be locked in. So what I'm going to do is, for me, is, like I said, I'm going to focus on my protein. So yes, I'm going to make sure that I prep my meals. You know what I mean? I'm going to have the right food. Okay, so you need chicken breast, lean meats, man. Nowadays, you can go on Chat GPT and literally put your weight, put how much you want to lose, and it will literally print out a freaking diet for you. And then all you got to do is follow it. You know what I mean? But for the most part, the only thing you got to do is focus on protein, lean protein, stuff like chicken breast, lean fish, lean steak if you eat red meat. You know what I'm saying? Egg whites, protein powder, like, you know what I mean, if your stomach can handle it. You know what I mean? Just to get the protein in. Then your carbs could be like potatoes, rice, right? So when people say potatoes, like, potatoes is actually low key probably a little bit better than rice. Not because one makes you fatter than the other, because potatoes will fill you up more than rice. Like, a cup of rice is cool, but you eat a potato, you get more potato, you get more value for the food. And the whole goal is to not be hungry when you're dieting. So that's another thing, that why the food choices matter, because you get more. Like, I always use this one. Like, for instance, let's just say we got 2 plates. One has a chicken breast, white rice, and an avocado. The other one has a chicken thigh, white rice, and an avocado. Somebody might say, oh, what's the difference? Well, the amount of food, because that little ass chicken thigh, first of all, is not going to have as much chicken as the 8-ounce chicken breast, but it's going to be the same amount of calories because it's higher in fat. 9 calories per gram of fat. So now we're both eating chicken, rice, and the avocado, but you're getting a lot less food. Even though the chicken thigh tastes better to most people, you're going to get less chicken. So what are you going to end up doing? You're going to end up putting a second chicken on there. Now that second chicken just made that a higher calorie plate than the 8-ounce chicken breast, even though they look identical. You see what I'm saying? It's because we're not paying attention to the food, and it's also going to have less protein. It's going to be higher fat, less protein, where the 8-ounce chicken breast is going to have the protein, it's going to have the volume, right? The cup of rice or the potatoes. It's going to give you enough food that when you eat it, you're like, yo, I'm full, I'm cool. So what do you got to do? You got to figure out ways to make that chicken breast taste better. You might have to put some hot sauce on there. You can bread it, you know what I mean? Put little breadcrumbs on there. Make sure you get the right ones that doesn't like have too much calories. You know what I mean? You put a little bit of thing and you just deal with it. You feel what I'm saying? That's the other thing, man. You got to deal with it. Like, sometimes when you're trying to get a goal, you got to deal with being a little uncomfortable. You might not be crazy about it, but as long as you get full, you're good. You know what I mean? So you can eat anything you want on a diet, but you got to know the numbers. So like right now, if I want to eat a Twix, a king size Twix, 4 of those Twix, like usually it comes with 4, right? Like 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, the king size Twix, pause. If you go ahead and you get one of those, that's like 500 calories. So if I eat that, now I'm like, all right, well, that's 500 done. I only got 1,500 left for the day, and I'm still hungry as a motherfucker. So is it worth eating that? Or am I better off getting a protein shake with 40 grams of protein, 2 scoops of protein, and a protein bar? It's not going to taste the same, but it's going to be chocolate. I'm going to drink the protein shake, 40 grams of protein right there. I eat a protein bar with it if I really need a snack. And that's going to be another 200 calories. So I might be 400 calories in, but I just went ahead and filled myself up with it, and I'm freaking like 60 grams of protein. And that just helped me with my protein for the day. So when you see people, drinking protein shakes and stuff, it's more so just so you can hit your protein goal. If you don't need the shakes, then get it from food. You know what I mean? But some people need the shakes to go ahead and get that protein goal, and they need that little sweet tooth. So you drink a protein shake, you eat a protein bar, and then you cool. It's not the same, but it gets the job done. You feel what I'm saying? So we're gonna continue to talk about nutrition throughout the next 30 days, man. But this is exactly how you have to approach your diet. Like trying to be on these diets where it's like, oh, you don't eat no carbs, or I only eat this, or I do this military diet. They're so restrictive that you're gonna be like, damn, bro. And then what ends up happening is you go to a restaurant with your friends and you eat something bad and you think you ruined the fucking diet. That's another thing. That's why I said this is mental. So I'll give you an example. Let's just say I put you on a diet and the food's on the paper, right? Like I got the diet plan right here. Woo! You read it. And let's just say you deviate from the diet. You end up eating some candy that day. Like, fuck, I fucked up. Or you end up eating a slice of pizza that day. Fuck, I fucked up. If you don't know how to count, right? You're mentally going to say you fucked up. So what now? Most people crash out when they fuck up. They're like, I fucked up. Fuck it. Get the other slice of pizza. Get me another chocolate. Yo, get me some wings. I might as well, fuck it. I'll start on Monday. It's Thursday. I'll start on Monday. Who gives a fuck? I already ruined the diet. But let's just say your goal was 2,000 calories that day. And when you fucked up, you were only at 800 calories. So now you ate a slice of pizza. Now you're at 1,100 calories. Do you know that you actually are still cool? Like you ate a slice of pizza, or you ate the Twix, the 400 calories. Now you're at 1,300 calories. You're actually still cool. It's actually not that bad of a thing. You go, okay, well, if you knew how to count, you wouldn't let that food ruin your day. You would actually be like, all right, I enjoyed the pizza today. So that means now I got to tighten up the rest of the day. So therefore, what I'm trying to say is you can eat anything you want. I could be sitting right here eating some chocolate right now and be on my diet, because it's not about the food. It's more so about the numbers. Now, the only time that the food really matters if you're thinking about health, like, okay, I don't want to eat dairy because it's not good for my gut health. Or I don't eat red meat because I believe red meat's not good for you. Or I'm a vegan, so I don't eat any kind of meat, so I got to eat something else. Or you know what I mean? That's when the actual foods actually matter. But if we're talking specifically weight loss, it's a numbers game. And I know because I done lost 30 pounds, 40 pounds multiple times in my life. So I already know it's a numbers game. It's about calories in versus calories out. And the more protein you get, the better and the easier it's going to be to hit those goals. The problem is people don't prepare. So if you just wake up and you just start eating anything, I know, bro, that was a crazy pause. I was saying all types of crazy stuff, yo. But if you don't prepare, then you're not going to be ready for it. So like, for instance, sometimes I'll go to the corner store to get a breakfast sandwich. This is what I've been doing. I go to the corner store, I get a breakfast sandwich. I'll get the Kaiser roll. And I already know that the Kaiser roll got like 280 calories in it because I freaking log it every day in my fitness pal, right? So I get the Kaiser roll. I'll say egg whites only. He usually takes 2-3 eggs and just gets the egg whites. I get like 4 slices of turkey bacon. And I get a slice of white American cheese. I tell him to put some onions on there that he grills on the thing. And I got myself a breakfast sandwich. That breakfast sandwich is like 500 calories, and it's pretty good on protein. It's probably like 30-40 grams of protein. But it's a nice size sandwich. I got turkey bacon on it. I got egg whites. I got 1 slice of American cheese. And I got some onions on there to give it just a little bit of a flavor. Some salt, pepper. Boom. Now somebody else will go to the same thing and get a regular bacon, egg, and cheese. And that sandwich actually has like 200-300 more calories and less protein. Why? Because they ate the egg yolk, they ate regular bacon, They might have had 2 slices of cheese on there instead of 1, right? So you don't realize like 1 slice of cheese is 70 calories. So now you ate 2. Now you're eating 140 calories, but that's just from the cheese. Now we got to eat the eggs with it, the regular bacon with it. You just turned a 500 calorie sandwich to a 750 calorie sandwich. And that might not sound like a big deal, but it adds up throughout the day if you keep making choices like that. Like you ate the regular bacon, egg, and cheese, and then later on that day you had the chicken thighs, you know what I mean? Or you had a piece of fatty steak and you ate the baked potato with the fucking sour cream in it. You see what I'm saying? Like now this shit adds up throughout the day. So you gotta be mindful. You gotta say, okay, I'm gonna eat more leaner, more protein, and I'm gonna pay attention to my calories. You get my Fitness Pal, you log everything. Log everything in my Fitness Pal. Just put it in. You know what I'm saying? Just log it. Learn to log, man. It'll be your best friend. That's what I'm personally gonna be doing. And that's basically how I'm going to be approaching this month. So, yeah, if you guys are rocking with me, man, go ahead, download the WTF tracker, y'all. Download the WTF tracker. This right here is going to let me know if y'all serious, if y'all really rocking with me. A lot of people already downloaded it off my Instagram because I put it on there. All you got to do is check the 3 boxes if you handled your business that day. I'm starting it tomorrow. Tomorrow is day 1. My goal is 2,000 calories a day. I'm going to try to hit anywhere from 180 grams of protein to 200 grams of protein a day. All right. And I'll probably go ahead and do this on my Instagram story tomorrow just to kind of show like how I do it. I'm not going to do it every day. I'm not going to try to like turn my story into a freaking follow my diet day or nothing like that, but I might just do something just to show y'all a little bit of how I'm approaching it. But my goal is to be 180 grams to 200 grams of protein a day. Okay, I'm not worried about carbs or fats. I'm just focused on 2,000 calories, 200 grams of protein. The carbs and fats will fall into place naturally, and then I can just pay attention to that. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work out 7 days a week. Okay, so I like to lift weights. I do a little bit of boxing, but I mainly lift weights nowadays, and I just get my steps. I'm a coach now. I teach people how to box. I boxed for 20 plus years. You see what I'm saying? But I do like the shadow box from here and there. You guys might have seen me shadow box, and I like the shadow box. I don't hit the bags as much because I like to save my joints for the pads. I do a lot of work nowadays, so I try not to hit too much heavy bags and stuff nowadays. But for the most part, I'll shadow box. I'll jump some rope. You know what I mean? Things of that nature nowadays. But if you're a boxer, you can go ahead and hit that box. Oh, yeah. So the water intake, I see you said water intake. That's part of it right here. So also water will be half of your body weight, right? So if you're a 200-pound man, 100 ounces of water. If you really want to just keep it real simple, a gallon is a good starting point to just be like, I'm going with a gallon. But half of your body weight. So what I'll do is I'll drink a 50-ounce water when I go to the gym. I'll drink 50 ounces of water, you know what I mean, as I'm working out. And then later on in the day, I'll drink another 50 ounces of water. And then I might drink like a bottle of water here and there throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. That usually hits my gallon real easy. I got it down to a system. I break it up into 2 different times. 50 ounces while I'm lifting, 50 ounces throughout the day, and then at the end of the night when I eat my dinner or something like that, I just drink my water. It doesn't matter what time you eat. You can eat before you go to bed. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're not overeating. If you didn't eat all day and then at the end of the day you ate a chicken breast, white rice, and an avocado and a protein shake, do you think you're going to get fat because you ate that at 11 p.m.? No, you're not, because you've been moving all day. You've been doing your thing all day. Then you finally ate something. Actually, you're going to be under eating if you did that, because that's only going to be like 700 calories. I already told you a chicken breast is like 250. A cup of rice is like 250. A protein shake is like 200. Right? So that's like 700. And then you got the protein, whatever. Like you're going to be like 800, 900 calories if that's all you ate. You actually got to eat more than that. But my whole point is you can eat right before you go to bed. It doesn't matter. It's all about how you eat. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the day, try to make the best choices. Remember, give yourself a certain amount of numbers. And, oh yeah, Next thing, I forgot. If you don't know how to do this, I put it in the WTF tracker. But me, all you gotta do is put your body weight and times it by 10 or 11, right? I'm going with 10 because I want to be aggressive. So let's just say, for instance, I'm gonna take my calculator. 200 pounds times 11, 2,200. See that? That's 2,200. So that could be 2,200 calories for the day. A 200-pound guy can eat 2,200 calories for the day. Not bad. Or you could do what I'm doing and just go right for the 10, right? So really, truthfully, me going for 2,000 calories gives me wiggle room for the days that I might have fucked up a little bit and gotten a little higher. Truthfully, I'm saving 200 calories a day because I could probably eat 200 a day, 2,200 a day and get my goal. But if I force myself and say I'm only doing 2,000, but I'm gonna hit my protein, I'm only gonna eat 2,000, right? Me giving myself that number of 2,000 mentally, for me, keeps me disciplined. So when I start creeping up to like 1,400 calories that day, I start to tighten up and say, hold on, I only got 600 more for the day. Even though truthfully, I probably got like 800 more for the day. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, let me just tighten up. So because there's little hidden calories you don't know. Sometimes you might eat something out. You might not know what they put in the food. There might be like an oil or something that had calories. You didn't account for it. You might have took a little handful of something. You forgot you ate it. You see what I'm trying to say? So there's been many times where I've eaten something and then I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I forgot to log that. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? So for me, keeping myself at that 2,000 mark puts me in a strong enough mind state that even if I fuck up a little bit here, a little bit there, I'm still in a really, really good place, especially if I'm getting my 20,000 steps, especially if I'm still moving and I'm staying busy. You know what I'm saying? So for me, 2,000 is a good spot for some results. That's what's gotten me results in the past. Around 2,000 calories, about 200 grams of protein, and exercising, 5 to 7 days a week. I'm going with 7 just because there's no days off November, right? So I already worked out yesterday. I'm going to work out right after this, work out tomorrow, whatever. But we're going to start the tracker tomorrow. So everybody, please go up there, download this tracker. I plan on going live this week, scattered throughout the week. So, sometimes it might be 10 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes it might be a little bit earlier. We're going to do a lot of boxing stuff, man. It's not going to be just me sitting here talking to you guys like this, man. I'm going to bring Eddie Chambers on. We're going to do demonstrations. I'm even planning on maybe showing some of the sparring here at the gym. You know what I mean? So we're looking to have a lot of fun throughout the month of November, and just mix it up so you guys can get a bunch of different looks. You feel me? So, yeah. Guys, I know I've been talking my ass off. Hopefully this has been helpful. Let me know if there's any questions you have. There's something I might not have covered. Again, man, I'm just here to help y'all, man. No days off November, man. I get on here every year, you know what I mean, just to kick it with you guys, man, and try to give you guys as much value, man. So if you guys anything you want to say, I'm opening it up right now to Q&A. We could definitely do that right now. I think I got my point across. I think I got that information across, but I could have done better. I could have had slideshows, and I could have had, more visuals, man. So I apologize for that. Ghetto Dora, other way around, how boxers move up weight classes, eating and lifting. Yeah, for sure, man. You got to think, man. A lot of boxers, they're cutting weight. Okay, so let's just remember that. So I'll give you an example. When I was training Tevin Farmer and I was training Raymond Ford, both of those guys fought at a lower weight class. Tevin Farmer fought at 130 pounds when we won the world title, and Raymond Ford won the world title at 126 pounds, right? Both of those guys walk around closer to 150 pounds. I mean, Ray's weighed 155. Tevin's weighed 150. Like these guys don't walk around at 126 pounds. So what happens is They get themselves in shape. They do the stuff that I just said, right? And let's just say they start camp. Let's say they got a 12-week camp or 8-week camp, and they come in 150 pounds. They'll start locking in their diet while they're exercising. They'll start counting or whatever. They start paying attention to their calories and the foods that they eat. You know what I'm saying? And then they get their weight down. So now they get themselves down to, like, let's just say 140-ish. So Tevin, I'll use Tevin as an example. Let's say he's 150. Over the course of 8 weeks, we get him from 150 to 140, which is sustainable. That's realistic weight loss. He's on a fast. He's on actually a good track. He's lost about 2 pounds a week. We got him from 150 to 140. Now the week of the fight, he'll do a weight cut, which is stripping him of the water and getting him from 140 to 130. So when he steps on the scale at 130 pounds, he makes weight. And then what do? They go and they rehydrate. And a lot of these guys gain 10 or 15 pounds on the rehydration. That's why a lot of Fight Claws now, they got rehydration. So when you are trying to move up a weight class, you just don't have to cut as aggressively anymore. Now the cut is less. And of course, you want to focus on your strength. You know what I mean? Your strength training and all that stuff is very important. But what happens is you start to box bigger guys. You know, you start sparring guys at a higher weight class. You don't have to cut the weight. And of course, your strength training, your boxing training, and all that stuff, it comes into play. And, you know, boxers naturally move up weight classes as they get older. The body just doesn't lose as much weight as you get older. That's just a natural progression of being a human. You just naturally gain weight as you get older. Like, even if you eat good and all that type of stuff, because you build muscle weighs more than fat, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? All the boxing training and stuff, you're naturally going to gain muscle boxing. Like, people think that boxing, you don't gain muscle, but you do. You're tearing your muscles down in training, and then when you eat properly, you rebuild. So you just cutting the weight is really the issue, though. That's what guys don't have to do as aggressively. They don't have to cut as aggressively. That's really it. But how to structure along with boxing? I can't do both 100%. One has to be priority. Well, I mean, you got to understand. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what Crawford did, you know what I'm saying, to get up there. It's not like I was part of his camp or anything, so I can't give you the specifics. But what I can tell you is he didn't have to cut as aggressively to fight Canelo, and he focused on strength. So he was, for the most part, probably lifting really heavy, like 2 to 3 reps, 4 reps, stuff like that. He wasn't doing a lot of freaking, reps with the exercise, because doing a lot of reps and stuff, that's like whatever. He probably focused on some heavy lifting. He ate a little bit more protein, you know what I'm trying to say? And he let his body fill out, and then he didn't have to cut as aggressively. That's all it is, bro. Listen, you can only gain so much muscle in a year. I don't know what the exact number is, but let me give you an example. I'm gonna get this answer for you right now. Okay, give you an example, champ. How much muscle can you gain in a year? I know it's not a big number. Like, the human body can only gain so much. You can lose more weight than you can gain muscle in a year. Okay. So a beginner person can gain, somebody who never worked out before in the first year, can gain 1 or 2 pounds of muscle per month, 10 to 20 pounds of lean muscle per year. An intermediate, 1 to 3 years, 5 to 10 pounds of muscle. And an advanced person can gain 2 to 5 pounds of muscle a year. So I'm going to say Crawford's probably an intermediate, because I don't think he's a guy who bodybuilded or anything like that at any point in his life. He always boxed. So I'm going to say he's somewhere in the intermediate level of building muscle. Not intermediate exercising, but intermediate muscle. He's not a beginner, but he's not considered an advanced guy when it comes to muscle building. He's a boxer, in my opinion. Some people might say he is advanced. I don't know. I'm not perfect with this science, but let's just say it's intermediate. He was able to gain 5 or 10 pounds of lean muscle, which is pretty freaking good in a year. That's a year. He said he started training for Canelo in February, I think he said. So that's half a year. So he might have gained 5 pounds of muscle, bro. He didn't gain that much muscle, and that's on the high end. He might have gained 5 pounds of muscle. So what he really did was he didn't have to cut weight so aggressively. And he made sure that he sparred the right weights and that he was super sharp and that he could handle the punching power coming back. That was the real secret to it. Everything else is just something that naturally progresses over time. When you see guys who move up weight classes like Manny Pacquiao did and guys like that, they did that over a course of years. Crawford did it relatively quick recently because he's seen an opportunity. He has the skill set. He was able to do it. And he didn't have to cut as much weight. And he did focus on some strength because he talked about it. You know what I mean? So I know he focused on strength. But he only could have gained so much strength in 6 months, bro. He could have only gained so much muscle in 6 months, 5 pounds at most in 6 months. Right? So, yeah, bro. That's that. You know what I mean? Hopefully that was helpful, Ghetto Dora. All right. You stuck around to the end, so I got to answer this question. Hey, coach, I bought your master course and I love it. I have a quick question. Give me a demonstration on how we should breathe when we punch. I noticed that you and other great boxers like Shakur Stevenson breathe with the mouth open when you punch, but I've heard you're supposed to breathe with your mouth slightly clenched because when you breathe with your mouth open, you get countered. Your jaw can easily be broken. Yo. That is actually crazy because I seen when you posted that in the community and I didn't get a chance to answer you. So I'm glad that you brought it back up. And I had this conversation with Eddie. I was actually like, yo, this is a good ass question because I've never had this even explained to me. So for me, it's like, ha, ha, yeah, my mouth is open. Or you can even go, mouth is still a little bit open. You know, I'm going to be honest, bro. I've never thought about it. I got to be honest because for me to go mouth clenched and going, ha, 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 ha. Now, I will tell you this. There is something called bite down on your mouthpiece. So you could bite down on your mouthpiece and still breathe. Like, ha, 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 ha. You could do that. But all the rounds I've been in the ring, I've never put too much thought into it, and thank God I've never had my jaw broken. I asked Eddie the same freaking question. He said he never put that much thought into it, but he did say he got the double-sided mouthpieces, the ones that like are like no homo, a thicker mouthpiece. Pause. That's crazy. But it's like he would put that in his mouth. Pause, and it's harder to keep your mouth wide open because. You feel me? That's the double-sided mouthpiece. But I never put a lot of thought into it. You know what I'm saying? I've never put a lot of thought into that, bro. So that's a really good question, man. So for me, man, I would just focus on biting down on your mouthpiece, but I wouldn't overthink that either. I wouldn't overthink that. Just keep a mouthpiece in your mouth. Focus on not getting hit. Try not to breathe with your mouth completely open, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, keep your mouth closed. You know what I mean? When you got a mouthpiece in, you're naturally biting the mouthpiece anyway when the mouthpiece is in. So it's like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna get I'm gonna put a mouthpiece in one of these days and think about this a little bit more, man. But that's a really good question, bro. Yes, this is live, champ. This is definitely live. I get your point. They don't cut, but I'm a skinny dude who wants to be a boxer. Okay, so look, listen. This is something that you need to understand, Dora. This is something that you need to understand. You're a skinny dude who wants to be a boxer. When you say you want to be a boxer, you have to ask yourself a couple of questions. What kind of boxer are you trying to be? Are you trying to be somebody who boxes because you like boxing and you just want to be good at defending yourself? Or do you want to be a competitive boxer who competes? Because if you're a competitive boxer who competes, you don't want to go up a weight class. You want to stay at your weight and stay as strong as you can at your weight. And if anything, go try to be the stronger guy at the lower weight class. All right. So guys who can make a certain weight, their goal is always to get to a lower weight class because you want to be the stronger guy in your weight class because that's what everybody else is doing. If everybody walked around at their natural weight, then you wouldn't have to worry about that. But to be a skinny guy and say, I want to go up and box guys that are bigger guys who are coming down is not the smartest decision. Now, if you're just a thin guy, a lean guy, and you just want to get in muscle because you want to look bigger and you want to just learn how to box because you want to be nice with it, then lift some weights 2 to 3 times a week and box and eat. You got to eat. You know what I mean? The same way I say you times your body weight by 10, a guy like you might have to times your body weight by 15. So I don't know what you weigh, but let's just say you weigh 120 pounds. You times that by 15, you need to be eating at least 1,800 calories. You know what I mean? If you're a skinny guy, if you wanna gain a little bit more weight, shit, you could keep playing with that number. If 1,800 doesn't do it, then you might want to go up to 2,000, 2,100 and see how your body looks as you fill in the weight. And you want to do your weight training, your chest, your back, squats. I mean, you're going to have to learn about weight training. I mean, I'm not going to go into all of that, but you're going to have to build some muscle. And then you could just box the other days. And now you're a boxer and you've got some muscles and you're cool. But if you want to be a competitive boxer fighting like as a professional or even an amateur, then, you got to stay around your weight class, bro. Like you got to stay around what you weigh. I wouldn't be looking to shoot up. It's not the best decision. Okay, yeah, you just, yo, man, I hope I answered your question, bro, even though I didn't fully give you a great answer, but I'm definitely going to think more about that. Yeah, Dora. So yeah, bro, you need to lift weights, bro, and you need to eat enough protein and you need to eat enough. People who have trouble gaining weight have to eat more. People who have trouble losing weight have to eat less. It's that simple, bro. You might not be eating enough. You might think you eat a lot, but you might not be eating enough, bro. You might have to eat more. You feel me? So that's that. Anyway, guys, that's my hour for today, man. I want to say thank you, guys. I hope I answered your questions. If you guys have anything else, drop them in the comments when I end this live on YouTube, and I will go ahead and look at them, and hopefully I can help you. And I know a lot of people, they get on, they're going to be watching this live a little bit later. I know some people were expecting me to go live at 10 p.m. tonight. If you missed this, man, I apologize. Hopefully it was helpful. Leave a comment. Let me know any ideas you want me to talk about this month. I will be going live every single day for the month of November. My goal is to provide value. Share this with somebody who you think this will be helpful for, man. At the end of the day, I want to go ahead and get my knowledge out to as many people as possible. Make sure you guys get the WTF tracker. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the comments one more time for those of you guys who might not have done it. All right, one more second. Okay, get that WTF tracker. It's absolutely free. Okay, and also get on the waiting list for $1 Million Mitts. For you guys out there who want to be trainers, $1 Million Mitts is going to be the best mitt workforce ever created, 100%. So you guys are definitely going to go ahead and learn a lot. Yeah, man, I appreciate everybody who tuned in, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all take care. You already know. Boxing life.